Daniel stood at the airlock of Research Station Kepler 442, his boots magnetic locked to the deck plating as the red emergency lights painted everything in shades of blood. The station hung in the silent void between stars, humanity's farthest outpost in the colonization initiative. 300 souls aboard. 300 brilliant minds pushing the boundaries of what humanity could achieve. And one cat. Out, Daniel muttered, pressing the button that would cycle the interior maintenance shaft. Damn vermin! Luna hissed at him from inside the cramped space, her ribs visible beneath matted fur. Her eyes, those strange, too intelligent eyes that every Earth creature seemed to develop after prolonged exposure to hyperspace radiation, glowed with an eerie luminescence. Behind her, 3 tiny kittens mewed weakly. Should have never let biologicals aboard, Daniel said, his voice cold. As the station's chief of operations, he'd argued against the Earth Remnant Protocol from the beginning. Some bleeding hearts back home thought it was important to preserve Earth species on every colony vessel, every research station. A living connection to our origins, they called it. He called it a waste of resources. Luna had stowed away in a cargo container 6 months ago. She'd survived on stolen rations, nested in the ventilation systems, and now she'd had kittens. In his station. Consuming oxygen, consuming food. Taking up space. The shaft door hissed open to the outer hull maintenance corridor. It was still pressurized, still safe, but it would only be a matter of time before he could root her further out, somewhere she couldn't come back from. Nothing personal, Daniel said, though Luna's gaze made him uncomfortable in a way he couldn't quite articulate. Survival of the fittest. Humanity first. He sealed the door. 3 days later, the schism appeared. It opened like a wound in reality itself, a tear in spacetime that the station's sensors couldn't fully comprehend. From it emerged something that made humanity's first contact protocols seem laughably optimistic. The entities? Defied classification. They existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, their true forms hidden behind geometries that made human minds ache. The communication came through every speaker, every screen, every neural interface simultaneously. Station Kepler 442, you harbor the catalyst, surrender it or be dissolved. Panic erupted across all decks. Daniel raced to the command center, where Dr. Yuki Tanaka was already running every scan available. What do they want? Daniel demanded. I don't know. Yuki's fingers flew across holographic displays. They keep referencing something called the catalyst, some kind of quantum organic hybrid they detected. They're saying it's a convergence point, something that could... She stopped, her face going pale. Daniel, they're saying it could unite multiple dimensions. That it's the key to something called the Great Bridging. We don't have anything like that. 20 standard cycles. Then we extract IT ourselves. The transmission ended. In its wake, everyone aboard felt the station shudder as the entity's presence warped local spacetime. Life support began fluctuating, power grids destabilized. 20 hours. They had 20 hours. Daniel didn't sleep. He oversaw the evacuation preparations, the desperate scanning for whatever these beings wanted, the frantic diplomatic attempts that went unanswered. Humanity's first contact was becoming humanity's first extinction event, at least for the 300 souls on Kepler 442. On hour 17, he found himself in the lower maintenance corridors, checking the integrity of the escape pods. That's when he heard it. A meow. Luna stood in the corridor ahead, impossibly clean despite the 3 days in the maintenance shafts. Her kittens were arranged around her, and all 4 cats were glowing. Not just their eyes now, their entire bodies pulsed with soft, rhythmic light that seemed to exist in more than 3 dimensions. You, Daniel breathed. Luna walked toward him, her movements fluid and purposeful. As she approached, Daniel's neural interface suddenly blazed to life with information he couldn't possibly understand: quantum mathematics. Dimensional harmonics? Biological photonic integration? The cats weren't just cats anymore. Perhaps they'd never been just cats. Hyperspace radiation didn't just mutate. It awakened. Luna sat before him, and Daniel understood. The entity outside wasn't hostile, it was desperate. The catalyst wasn't a weapon or a threat, it was a bridge. Luna and her kittens had become something unprecedented in the galaxy. Organic beings capable of existing as stable anchor points across dimensional boundaries. They were the key to ending the isolation between realities. To bringing together civilizations separated not by distance, but by the very fabric of existence itself. And Daniel had tried to throw them into the void. Daniel's voice cracked. I didn't know. Luna's purr resonated through the corridor, through the station, through the dimensional barrier itself. The entity outside responded, its presence shifting from threatening to hopeful. Daniel made his decision in an instant. He opened the comms to the entire station. All hands, this is Chief Daniel. Stand down evacuation protocols. I'm authorizing full diplomatic exchange. He knelt before Luna. And someone bring this mother and her children the finest meal we can synthesize. The great bridging took 6 hours. Luna and her kittens stood at the heart of a hastily assembled quantum field generator, their bioluminescence synchronizing with technology that humanity was inventing in real time. The entity from the schism guided them through the process via mathematics that appeared directly in researchers' minds. When it was complete, Station Kepler 442 became the first permanent gateway between dimensions. Trade, culture, and knowledge began flowing between realities that had been forever separated. Humanity wasn't alone in one universe, they were part of an infinite community. And it all happened because one starving mother cat refused to give up. Daniel never forgot the lesson. Neither did humanity. The Earth Remnant Protocol became sacred law after that. Every vessel, every station, every colony carried Earth life. Not as cargo, as partners. Because sometimes the smallest life holds the greatest destiny. And revenge, as it turned out, was best served with purring.